Here we go, and that should be, well, we ain't live yet, I don't think. So let's start the Facebook Live. Hey Live, let's take that out. There we go. Alrighty, and put that joker in there. And we'll do yep. Woo-hoo-hoo. Here we go. Here we go. Well, you know I love fucking young girls, even though you know they're only 14. But I'm feeling the way they carry yourself, girl. Plus, I like the fact that you are only 14. So if you wanna come to my hotel, you are gonna have to call me daddy. And we'll be at the after party. And you'll be locked up in the room with no key. Oh yeah. What's good, people? What's good? Yes, indeed. It's alright if you wanna be with me. 'Cause even though you are 14, baby, age don't mean a thing. And it's okay if you wanna come to my house and stay. 'Cause even my wife, she's okay with me fucking on young girls. Girl, you know I love fucking young girls, even though I know you're only 14. I'm feeling the way you carry yourself, girl. Plus, I like the fact that you are only 14. So if you want to come to my hotel, you are gonna have to call me daddy. And we'll be at the after party. And you'll be locked up in the room with no key. Hey Live! It's your boy, Brian Redmond. And this is another episode of the Relationship Rehab. And tonight, we're talking about part 2 of the R. Kelly saga. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So last time we had a great show. I had a great time with you guys. We broke down the first part of the Red Table show that had none other than the infamous willingness, sluttiness memoirs of Lisa Van Allen. So she was on and she was talking about how treacherous it was, the tumultuous times that she had with Robert, how she spent 10 years of her life just in sheer agony and despair, and how she barely made it out alive, and now she has a daughter who's like about 14 to 15, and she brings her on this segment of the show. And we're going to get to hear from her. Now, I will warn you, first and foremost, there will be a fuck ton of, yeah, right, wow. So just get ready for that. I'm bracing you right now for, preparing you. It's going to be a lot of that. Those 3 words are going to be repeated in harmonious, numerous amounts of time, over and over again in harmony. You will hear, yeah, wow, right, right, yeah, wow. Okay, so, but we still gonna go ahead and get it going, get it cracking, and yes, first and foremost, I gotta give a shout out to the first person in the chat. Let me see who that was. Lefter. Salute to you. Yeah, buddy. That's what's up. Also want to give a shout out to Barbara. She was the first one in the chat. That's a mod. I appreciate you. Help me keep these damn trolls under control. Troll Patrol. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all that come in and do y'all part and helping keeping things flowing. Even though it's sometimes, I guess I admit, I just need, sometimes I don't even really like read the chat. It's hard for me to read the chat and like stay on topic and stay where I'm going so I can get to my points. So I try to not read it. I'll sometimes glance at it and I'll catch one or two, but for the most part, I'm really not reading the chat, so those trolls don't really get to sidetrack me all the way. But when I do see something that stick out, I ain't just gonna let no motherfucker just run amok, just be saying whatever they want to say. This ain't that. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in now when I can and do my thing now, you know. So hey, it is what it is. But also, I do want to give take note too and give a shout out to everybody that has been supporting the channel, supporting the shows, clicking the like. And if you haven't clicked the like right now, click the damn like. And everybody over in Facebook land, I know y'all watching it too, but y'all need to come over to the YouTube channel and watch it over here. And you need to click the like now. Okay, here, look here now. All right now. You click the damn like over here now too now. Okay. Matter of fact, let me see if I can turn this on over here. So I can see it. Ain't that? Because I did. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in now when I can and do my thing. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I just want to see the comments over on Facebook. So when I'm doing this, when y'all see me turn my head, I'm looking at the Facebook people. When y'all see me like this, I'm talking to my YouTube folk. Okay? So if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you click the like, click the link that's at the top, and it's going to take you to YouTube, same broadcast, and click the like over there, alright? I need the views on the YouTube, so I need y'all to do that, alright? Click on over there and get on over here. Appreciate you. Need more like you. Alright, but I did want to shout out, we have to everybody out there, and shout out to all of the people who've been supporting the channel. We have finally hit 2,500 subs. What? Okay, so if you're watching on Facebook, do that. There we go. We just hit 2,500 subs, so that is a definite milestone. It's been a goal of mine for quite a while, and I just want to give a shout out to everybody out there in Soto Nation who have been supporting me. Shout out first and foremost to my brother Tommy Sotomayor, who has definitely raised me up in here on these YouTube streets. All the credit and all of the thanks, brothers. I appreciate you. Hey, man, it's good to have friends like you, man. I'll tell you that much. You have definitely been a friend to me. You have been an upstanding and outstanding brother, and I thank you so much, man, for all that you have done for me and always being there for me. So, and shout out to my brother DJ Just J, who is one of my cohorts, who has helped me as well. He knows a lot more about like the banking and stuff of YouTube. I don't know that stuff. I'm trying to learn it, but he definitely knows a lot of it. So I want to give a shout out to him for always being there to help me. He gives me a lot of advice too on how to help grow the channel. So that's why he was telling me, he told me the other day, he said, hey man, you're doing good, but tell people to subscribe. So that's what I'm doing now. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. So make sure y'all do that. And that it'll make it easier too, because when you do subscribe, and all you need is just your email address. For some of my old people out there that might be watching that don't know what I mean when we say subscribe, if you take your email address or your Gmail account, whatever, and you go to YouTube, you do a sign in, and all it is just your email address. Once you do that, every time I go live, it'll actually give you an alert to say, hey, your boy is live, tune in and watch him now. Or you'll get an email, so even if you miss the show, you'll have it in your email. You can just click the link and you can go and watch the show. So make sure y'all do that. Get on up in there and click that like and the subscribe button to help the channel grow. Shout out to my big sister Kim. What's going on, Kim, over there in Facebook land? I see ya. Kim, one of my big sisters on from the block. She basically helped raise me. I definitely had some great times growing up on the south side of Chi-Town in the Wild Hunters on Normal. Also give a shout out to my brother Marcus Wade. Went to high school with him. My man is CPD now representing. Hey brother, nothing but the best for you. You be safe, man. Salute. Thank you for your service, good sir. And let's get it cracking, people. We got quite a few people in here now, so let's go ahead and do what we do. Let's see here. So basically what I want to do is I want to go over the second half of the video. This is the half where they bring out the young girl's daughter and they get like her perspective on some things. And I just wanted to point out some few things that I saw on this. It's really been like eye-opening for me to just see the depths in which this goes. And you can see there is a part of this to where I'm looking at it on all sides, essentially. And that's one of the things that I see very few of us doing that's covering this and that's talking about this. People on social media are just strictly saying, send his ass to jail. He was wrong. I ain't listening to his music no more. 12 play don't mean shit to me. It's people that's doing that, but I think that we still have to look at the whole picture of this. And that's one of the things that I want to make sure that I'm doing. I want to make sure that, hey, I'm giving it from all sides, pointing out the bullshit, pointing out what's real, what's true. I want to do that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. So at the end of the day, when you do see this, or even when, because a lot of people are talking about this in the barbershop, people talking about this in the grocery store, people talking about it at the dialysis clinic, they're talking about it at the rehab facilities, they're talking about it at Alcohol Anonymous AA meetings, they're talking about it in emergency rooms. It's just all over. And as far as the city is concerned, everybody in Chicago talking about this. So when those people are hearing all this, everybody's talking about this, I'm hoping that somebody will say, I'm going to play this video of this black dude that be wearing these hoop earrings with this MAGA hat on, because what he said was true as hell, and people need to hear this. That's what I'm hoping happens. So if somebody's playing this, hey, thank you so much. If somebody share this, I appreciate you. Let's do this, girl. Shout out to my beautiful wife and my wonderful daughter. I can't wait to see y'all. It's so good to see y'all again. I can't wait. But let's go ahead. Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism. Yep, that's what we're doing. News reporting. Yep, that's what we're doing. Teaching. Yep, that's what we're doing. And parody. A little bit of that too. Which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I think I'm going to start doing that in different voices. How about that? Maybe that'd be fun. Because I could do a Jamaican voice, man. I could say, hey, man, we're going to read the federal law, man. It's federal law allows citizens. Yep, I think I'm going to start doing that. So we're going to have some fun with that from here on out. And I'm going to try to record it. DJ, I know I need to record it, and I will, but eventually we'll get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the relationship rehab. So here we go. Slick Rick.
Next Red Table Talk.
Lisa, you have your 16-year-old daughter here who's never talked about this in public
Yeah,
before.
girl.
How was it to hear her story? I don't want to cry. It's okay.
I used to always question that about my mom, like, why is she so overprotective?
Yes.
And I understand now, like, people are crazy.
Yes, right. It's going down. So, after this, hopefully we can get through this pretty quickly. And then afterwards, if anybody got some questions or something, hey, definitely do that. Shout out to Bertrand Collins. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate you. Click that like and click the bell. Thank you too for that, Barbara. Make sure you click the bell. You gotta hit the bell. Ring ding dong. Ring a ding 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 dong. Wait a minute. Was that the end? That was the wrong video. Hold up. That's why you got to be prepared. And I am. Because I got the right video right here. It was the second one that I forgot to click yet. Sometimes you got to click on the other one. Carry the 1, hit the 2, add the 5, multiply by 6. Then you get the 1, 5, 4, 2. There we go. Now we're going. Yeah, man. That was the end of the last one that we looked at. So now we're going over to this one.
Join us for part 2. We're
2.
talking about the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly with a very brave survivor,
in line
Lisa
with R.
Van
Kelly.
Allen.
The Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly has created an international uproar over the R&B singer's alleged abuse and sexual misconduct with minors. Lisa Van Allen, one of Kelly's accusers, was only 17 when she started dating the 31-year-old star. On part 1 of our special Red Table Talk, Surviving R. Kelly, The Aftermath, Lisa described how she fell under his spell.
Like a bomb went off. That's like a bomb that went off. This is the aftermath.
Foster care.
Either that or Dr. Dre about to show up and play a song.
Like I may have been tricked here.
After 10 years with R. Kelly, Lisa revealed her breaking point.
He specifically kept telling me to buy my daughter dresses. And I'm looking like, why does he care? Just my instincts was like, this ain't, this I'm not feeling it.
Right.
Van Allen
Now I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna definitely say this because I noticed this from the last show that I watched and I didn't address it then, but I need to address it now. That was some real shady fuck shit that she said about him telling her to go buy the dress for R. Kelly. I mean, that R. Kelly was telling her to buy dresses for the little girl because the girl was like a little baby girl. And Kels ain't never went that young. He ain't no pedophile. He's not trying to be playing around with no 5 or 6 year old girl. That was some real fuck shit that she did. She was bogus for that because she tried to paint him in a different light. Now, will he fuck the shit out of a 14-year-old girl? Absolutely. He will do that. But her trying to say that he was telling her to buy her a little dress is like, man, that was just a little too much because ain't no evidence, ain't no type of history, it ain't even no rumors of R. Kelly like being with some young girl. And that was bullshit that she tried to like put that out there. Fact that he was giving your ass money every time you bring in her to the studio, he's giving you money, $300 to go buy a dress. Maybe he just liked little girls in dresses. I like little girls in dresses. I love when my little daughter wears a dress. It is beautiful. It's the most cutest little thing. I love that. So that was some bullshit. And the fact that she was saying that, trying to, I guess, lead to that wasn't cool because that's not what it is. And then you talking about you steady doing this, but shit, you steady bringing her over there without a dress on, or you steady bringing her, period. Why would you just stop if you thought something was wrong? So if you thought that he was on that type of shit, you wouldn't have never brought your daughter around in the first place. Fact that you did, not once, but on several different other occasions, looked like you was just getting the $300. That's all I'm saying. So don't try to paint the picture like this dude was trying to push up on your 5 or 6 year old daughter. That's some bullshit. Not cool at all. But I digress.
Kelly's story is not unique. Kelly's been accused of isolating young girls from their families by preying on their hopes and dreams and luring them with false promises.
So I know, Lisa, you have your 16-year-old daughter here, and she hasn't heard the entire story of what happened to you until she watched the...
Right. Wow. Yeah, I watched it with her like you watched
you
it with
did?
your baby. Yeah. I didn't want
y'all hear that shit? Yeah! She
like
crazy, man.
Watch it together.
Yeah. Hi!
Oh my goodness, look at this beauty.
How are you? You looking like your mama.
Right. Thank you.
Wow, it's so nice to have you here. So let me ask you, how was it to sit with your mom and hear her story?
It was hard, and it hurt me. Because nobody wants to hear that about their mom. I don't want to cry.
No, it's okay if you cry.
Yeah.
What the fuck, is it just a cry vibe going on now? It's like she just got out there and she like, I want to cry. I just don't know what to do. I just feel, oh my God. Oh, wait. Hold on before I tell my story. Oh no. Because this makeup is waterproof, but it ain't going to run. But I'm going to pat my face like it is. But anyway, why is everybody just instantly trying to cry? Like, come on, man. Just talk. Tell your story. And if it leads you to tears, if you get worked up emotionally, then go ahead. I get it. But other than that, just let it be what it is, man. Just tell the story.
It's so okay. It's okay.
Oh, come close.
She here already. She don't know. She here. Like she know. She ain't the first time she done watched the documentary. She done seen it. She obviously done talked to her mama about it. She knew she was coming here to talk about it, but she just instant waterwork. It's like a faucet, just like the water fountain. You remember water fountain? You put your lips. It's like boom, tears. There it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's changed my perspective on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Get it out. I know.
Hey, what you need to do?
And just to let y'all know, that person with the dreads, that is not Will Smith. That is not Will Smith. That is his daughter, Willow. She looks just like Will Smith, but that is not Will Smith. Don't y'all think that that's the Fresh Princess of Bel-Air. Will Smith has not had a sex change. That is his lovely daughter, Willow, and she is a part of the show. For those of you that don't know, because I know you might have just seen it real quick and be like, God damn, is that Will Smith? No, Will Smith don't have dreadlocks, and no, Will Smith has not turned himself into a lady. That's his daughter Willow. She looked just like him.
Because people are really judgmental nowadays. And it's
Oh, absolutely.
You know, when you hear someone's story, and it's like, you don't know. You know, like, anyone can be going through anything, and it'll show you.
She's doing her mommy thing, that's all.
I'm like, let me help.
It'll make you realize that's how they act. That's why they act the way they act, and this is why they're like this. This is why they have anger issues and stuff. And I used to always question that about my mom, like, why is she so overprotective?
Yes.
And I understand now that it's scary out there. Like, people are crazy.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever come up to you at school, like, saying anything about this?
On social media, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody DM'd me earlier today and was like, not to be rude, but does R. Kelly send you guys money?
Oh my
like,
God.
why would you say that?
Well, he would say that because you was getting money. Well, not you, but R. Kelly was funding the operation. Like, he did with so many. So, here's my thing, though, with the whole, and this is something with just kids. And to all that, and I'm talking like young people. I'm talking, teenagers here on up. I really wish that young teenagers would stand up for each other a lot more. People always, and we've always had this age-old saying of, kids are cruel. And kids are cruel than a motherfucker. But kids are cruel because they don't get their peers to challenge them or to rival their fuckery. So it's like you can be in a school and you can have kids that will get together, and one kid, because they're insecure about something that they have within themselves, to get the attention off of them or what they think or perceive as the attention on them, they will talk about another kid or try to embarrass another kid, try to talk down to another kid just because they don't want people to talk about them, and they will get everybody else involved. And it's like teenagers are just notorious for that. And it's to those teenagers that are hearing this, that may hear this, stop going along with the status quo and start standing up against the bullshit that you see your friends do that's wrong. And I'm saying to do that to the point to where if you gotta get physical with one of your friends to do that, then so be it. Because what a kid does to another kid, you have no idea the gravity that the words that a kid throws, or the jabs that a kid throws in social media or in groups or whatever the case may be, just doing that type of damage, the type of damage it can do. That's why you have so many young kids, committing suicide. So many more young kids committing suicide nowadays, or kids just doing just off the wall shit, overdosing on drugs and getting high and all that. They fall into that because there's nobody there to stand up for them. There's nobody there to do the right thing. And to any kid that's wondering, well, when do I know to do that? If you hear something or if you see somebody doing something to another kid, even if you know them or if you don't, that first instinct that you get in your gut, that little voice that you hear in your mind that tells you that it's not right, it's not. And that's when you need to step up and just say, hey man, stop fucking with him. Hey, stop fucking with her. No, I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out her. That shit ain't cool. Yeah, you may have Jordans on, and yeah, this person may have some Pro Wings on. Pro Wings, I just dated myself. I don't know if y'all know about Pro Wings, but whatever. This person may have on Pro Wings, but you need to tell them, maybe this motherfucker just can't afford Pro Wings. You know what I'm saying? So what is the point? What are we talking about here? Just because I can't afford a Gucci belt, I'm less than? We've let our kids get to that point because we want to give our kids shit that they didn't work for. Because all of the shit that kids wear in the school anyway, half of them don't work for the shit. Their parents give it to them. And so when you see a kid doing something like that, as an adult too, we need to start checking our fucking kids and checking other kids. When you see some shit that's fuck shit out in public, say something to these motherfuckers. Plain and simple. Plain and simple, because we have to be the ones to start setting the example, and we got to be the ones to start telling these kids what is real and what's not. And when we let them live in this fucking fantasy land, that's why the kids of today are they have such a attitude and a feeling of entitlement. They think that everything that they want is not only what they should have, but they think it is owed to them. and they don't work for shit because we have done so much for our children that we have spoiled them and we haven't taught them the art of hard work and the rewards of hard work. What you get is what you work for, not what I give you. What I give you is a bonus. But a kid that is given everything, they don't have an appreciation for the things you've given them, and they don't know how to work for the things that they want. And that causes a problem, and it makes them a victim to the other things of the world. It really does. So when you see that shit, children, young people, stop letting it be that way. You want change, you want your lives to be better, you want the best for everyone, then step up and be the person to stop the bullying shit when you see it go on. Because that's when change will come, when you start holding your peers accountable. And hey, you might get into a scuffle and you might lose. But I tell you one thing, if you keep scuffling, if you keep fighting, people will choose to tend the path of least resistance, and they'll eventually stop.
That's funny. Right. For what? So I just blocked the person.
That can be so hard. I know how it feels to have people talking negatively about you on the internet or your family, and you're just seeing it and you're like, what do I do? And it makes you feel kind of powerless in a way.
They'll just make up anything and just say it, just so you can either respond or just so you can get mad or so your feelings will be hurt.
Do you think that seeing that changed your perspective on men?
Yes, a lot.
Do you feel afraid to date or afraid to have experiences with males after?
I'm just more cautious.
Just vigilant.
Exactly.
More cautious. Yeah, it's like
Now, this was wonderful. I was so glad that they got to this. Because what has happened to her and what she's now projecting onto her daughter, the main idea to all of this, the key component that is missing to this, because this ain't her distrust that she has in men, her issues that she may have in men, that ain't R. Kelly's fault. That's her mama choosing a poor father's fault. That's her mama's fault. Because she picked a poor daddy. Because R. Kelly ain't her daddy. And at the end of the day, R. Kelly was with her. Yeah, she got pregnant by R. Kelly and had an abortion. But then she got pregnant while she was fucking R. Kelly. She got pregnant with another nigga with this girl right here. So you picked R. Kelly, number one. And you say, hey, R. Kelly ain't shit nigga, whatever the case may be. Yep. He was taking advantage of me. Okay, fine. But then your grown ass picked an even worse dude. Not worser. We can stop saying that. A worse dude. A worse dude than that. Because this dude, he wasn't not only shit. He wasn't an ain't shit nigga. He was an ain't shit nigga that was beating your ass. So he was the ain't shit nigga with the physical edition. He was the beat your ass edition of the ain't shit nigga. So it's like you got this ASN and then you got the physical abuse edition to it. So you picked a worser dude to be a worser. Yeah, it's worse. You pick an even worse dude to be your child's father. That ain't got shit to do with R. Kelly. That's you in poor judgment as an adult and as a woman. That's all that is. R. Kelly ain't got shit to do with this kid. Nothing at all. You could have picked a great father, and that great father that you would have picked would have been a great father to his daughter and would have been teaching his daughter what to do, what not to do, and she wouldn't be having these problems with men already. This girl is only like, I think she's like 16 or 17 or whatever the case may be, but she's going to have problems in the gate, coming out the gate with men because of the shit that her mama did, not with R. Kelly, but with her father, her baby's daddy. So it's like when you're trying to put all this shit on R. Kelly, that ain't cool. He ain't got shit to do with this. That's supposed to be you, your child's father, and her. Y'all supposed to be figuring that out. She should be talking completely from a different perspective, saying, well, my dad is nothing like that. My dad is there. My dad is there with me. My dad is protecting me. He's looking out for me. She should not be having these doubts about men if you was doing your job. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you can be the best single mom in the world, but every kid deserves and needs a good father. Because that's what a father does. What most women won't do or can't do. And that's protect their kids from all of the bad shit that's out in the world. And also give them that advice, give them that leadership and that guidance and that overall protection of saying, hey, this is what you look out for, this is what you don't want, this is what you do, this is what you don't do, here's what I'm not going to let you do, here's what I will allow you to do if you can show me that you know what you're doing. That's what a daddy does. Because with a mama and a daughter, you're going to get to the point to where she's going to be to the point to where she feels like she's a woman and she can make her own decisions, and it ain't gonna be shit you can tell her because I'm grown, I look good, and everybody be telling me I look good, and you just mad and you just jealous because you ain't me. That's where that shit goes. And that's just a different type of the relationship. Just it goes through that phase to where there is conflict, just like with a son and a father. There is that stage where it's difficult for young men, for young boys to become men, and you may have that, that little friction every now and again with a man doing that. But there is a time to where the father can step in, and there's a time where the mother can step in to bring balance. Because right now, when you have that daughter and father thing, that daughter is going to be like, I'm going to tell my mama all this shit about these boys. I ain't going to tell that shit to my daddy because my daddy ain't for that shit. And that makes her make better decisions. It's the same. It's just how it is. It's just like when you have mothers who raise these boys and they be watching out for every girl that come after their son. You ain't just going to get on my son. You ain't going to take advantage of my son, or you want your son to be protected and you want your son to watch out for all these thoughts. But then, when the shoe is on the other foot, who's there for the daughter? To watch out for all these motherfucking niggas that's just trying to fuck. It ain't none. Because you don't have one. Because you didn't pick a good man to have a child with. You just went with the one who had the most money, the one who looked the flies, the one who all your other friends want, one who had the biggest dick, or the one who treated you like shit because that's what you used to, or the one who had the 26-inch rims on the car. That's who you pick. Or the one who had 8 kids by 8 other different women, but he told you that you was going to be different because you understand them. That's who you pick. So it's like this thing that she's trying to put as and R. Kelly got my daughter like this now. Bullshit. Plain and simple. That ain't got nothing to do with that man. This should be you and your child's father talking about why she's feeling this way. Her experience should not be based on what you and Robert went through. It shouldn't be.
I'm not even interested in dating. I'm not in a rush.
Right.
Because a lot of people nowadays, at my school and stuff, they're like, oh, I want a boyfriend me please. And I'm like, no. Okay.
Right. Good. When you watch something like this, in what ways are you more vigilant? Did you get certain signs you would look out for? Like how guys using the telephone for control, you can't post this thing.
Exactly.
It's texting you 500 times a day, and if you don't be calling back,
that's definitely a form of control.
Right.
You're gonna call me back.
You, right?
Yeah.
She just had the little situation.
Yeah.
Cut that
Right.
short.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was telling me that he was overpowering. She wants space.
Yeah.
Right.
And they just keep, you're ignoring me. Back to back. What the F wrong with you? Answer back. And she said, oh no.
I blocked his number. He DM'd me on Instagram. And I was like, I just need space right now. And then the next day, texting me, call. I saw it as a red flag from her experience. And then when he started getting aggressive and was like, why are you ignoring me? Text me back. And all this, I'm like, bye. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So, prime example of what I'm saying. So you have your daughter, right? And she's having issues with some boy, and the boy is going too far. He's overstepping his boundaries. He's trying to put demands on her, and he's trying to make her contact him. He's trying to force her to be in contact with him. Who would be the best person to step in that instance? Who would be the best person to step up and say, you say he told you what? Give me that motherfucking phone. Give me that DM. Let me respond. Because a daddy, I'm not going to respond like, you need to just give me space and you need to let me, I'll contact you when I'm ready. No. If you don't want to talk to this dude today and you don't want to talk to him for 2 weeks from now, or you want to talk to him 2 years from now, I'd have been, look here, player. This is such and such's daddy. Don't you ever fucking tell her to do anything. If she don't contact you, don't fucking contact her anymore. Now, if you really think that I'm bullshitting or I'm playing around with your ass, you know the address, show the fuck up. Hashtag daddy nigga. That's what a motherfucker need to hear. Because then you know what that dude gonna say? Oh, alright, I'm sorry, Mr. Redman. I apologize. I meant no disrespect. I just really liked Laquita, and my daughter would never be named Laquita, but I just really liked Laquita, and I wanted to just talk to her. Well, she don't want to talk to you, pimp. So you need to cease and desist off further communication. That's the difference between a daddy and a mama. Cause a mama gonna be like, girl, just don't answer. Or she'll be like, just tell him you need space, like that fuck shit she was telling him. You need to have a protector like that that's gonna step in and be like, pimp, this ain't that. If she say no, god damn it, it's no. Ain't no extra shit coming back and forth. Ain't no, and then if it's why you tell your daddy? Cause I'm her daddy, nigga. That's why she told me. So many young black girls don't have that right there. And you know what that does? It puts them in a position to where they can be preyed upon. Because when they do run up on a thug nigga, when they do run up on that nigga that will slap the shit out of, they've seen slap the shit out of a girl before. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. So this is young Brian out in the streets, Wild Hundreds, Wild Records, executive, rapper, entrepreneur out there doing my thing back in the day. One of the things in Chicago that we used to do is hang out on Stony Island. And around Stony Island, there's a White Castles. There's 79th and Stony Island White Castles out there. And in that White Castles, everybody just like hung out. You talk about like Boys in the Hood, Crenshaw on Saturday night. Everybody just out in their cars, got their whips going, got their music bumping and all that. A little further down 79th Street, if you go a little further north, there's another little huge parking lot where a store called Gold Blast used to be. And that used to be like the spillover. So when the White Castles would get full, everybody would then shoot down to go to Gold Blast parking lot, huge like shopping mall parking lot, and everybody be out there with their cars, drinking, smoking weed, kicking it, doing what they do. And it was where guys went to meet girls and girls went to meet guys. So all of the girls get together, getting their mama car, getting their parents' car, whatever, and they drive down there. They had their little hair, trying to be cute, riding around. And all the dudes, we get up, we get together, we get our little drink or whatever, go down there. We sit in our boys' car and our boys' daddy car. We riding around, we hanging, we chilling, ain't really saying nothing, we being cool. You know what I'm saying? We just doing our thing, trying to talk to girls or whatever. Saw this dude. Some people would we park the cars, you get out, walk around, walk over to the gas station that was like right next to it, get you something to drink or whatever. You do your thing. This dude was walking with his boys. It was some girls in a car, and they was just driving around in like a little circle. And one of the dudes was like, "Hey, shawty, can I get your number?" And she literally was like, "No." She was like, "Nah, I'm straight. You good. Go ahead." And that nigga, he got mad. Little young dude got mad. Was like, "Damn, it's like that?" She was like, she got smart with him, was like, "Yup." This dude literally, as the car passed, he took off, ran, swear to God, ran, took his hands and put them on top of the hood of the car and jumped up and kicked this girl dead in her face. I mean, I'm talking like as if it was a fucking movie and there was a stunt double and he knew what he was supposed to do. Like, it shit was like it was written on a script and they had the storyboard up there and say, all right, after she says yup, then Tyrone, in a fit of anger, puts his hands on top of the car, jumps in the air and kicks the girl. I mean, kicked her square in her face. Point I'm making is that dude went and did that to her. And everybody was like, "Oh my God." It was so shocking. It was that's just shit you just didn't see. And everybody saw that shit and we all lost our shit. We was all like stuck. We was like, "I can't believe that dude did that." And that dude was like, "Yeah, nah, bitch. Nah, bitch." And walked off. Now imagine her shit was pushed in, obviously. She was fucked up and they drove off and probably drove her to Jackson Hospital. But imagine the next girl that he tries to talk to. What the fuck you think she gonna do? She gonna give up that number. Look, my number is 777-9311 and that's it. Or 588-2300. She gonna give him something. She ain't just gonna be like, "Nah, I ain't talking to you either, nigga." She ain't gonna do that. And my point is that when you have daddies, Daddies would be there to protect your girls, and your daddy would be there to say, hey, look, you teacher, you don't talk shit like that to no man, period. If a dude that you don't like, you ain't feeling that dude, you know what? No, I'm okay. Or, you know what? Here, give me your number. And that's it. Say, I ain't got no phone. Give me your number. You do something, you use some other tactic as opposed to just flipping niggas off. And the fact that she did that in front of everybody, she had no idea. She didn't think for 1 second that that dude would do some shit like that. But when you have girls that see that type of just thug shit go down, it puts them in a sense of fear. You be scared. You will be scared if you see a dude punch somebody in their shit. And you know, I can't beat this nigga's ass. Because he wasn't no little bitty ass dude. But he wasn't no real big dude either. But he just did some real savage shit. And the fact that he was that savage, it's going to make those that are less savage around him bow down to his will. That's just the nature of humans. If you see a motherfucker getting their ass beat to the ground and you ain't got the tools to beat that dude to the ground, you are going to take what that person's giving. Whether it's, hey, you going to give me your number, you going to go out with me, you going to talk to me, you going to do something, you going to do that. Fathers protect girls from that. Fathers give girls that extra piece that they need to survive in the world because that's what we care about. Yes, you want to have your daughter be pretty, you want to have her to have a wonderful life, and you want to teach, but we want to make sure that our daughters survive, just like for our sons. That's our legacy. We want to make sure that they are, and that you are equipped with the tools in life to survive and to build. That's what we do. And when you take that away from a daughter, when you take that away from a son because you picking the wrong dude to have a kid by, you put your kid at an instant disadvantage. It's just that simple.
Willow and I were watching it together. We had some real teachable moments, you know.
Like, just like you said, I definitely realized, because my mom was she still is super overprotective. Yeah. And when I was younger, it was such a mystery to me. It was like, what is the big bad? Like, let me know. Like, I want to know what it is. And you don't want to know what it is. Like, you really don't.
There have been so many times I've had to have very real conversations with Willow in regards to,
boy, if that ain't Will Smith, I don't know what the fuck he is.
I don't care if you look at this person as like your older brother and you trust them. You're not to be alone anywhere. And we've had some very hardcore.
And me not understanding and being like, why? Like it doesn't matter. And yes, it does matter.
Key point right there. You don't be alone with anybody. Women, young girls, old women, old hoes, young hoes, it don't matter. Calling all ladies. You don't be alone with anybody. And that's exactly why, and I could definitely say, just from the other things that I've seen Jada talk about, I can tell that she is so protective of Willow because of what she's seen, what she's been around, what she's experienced herself. She sees what this shit is really about, especially in Hollywood, because Hollywood is full of predators. Everybody's a fucking predator. Everybody is a fucking parasite, whatever you want to call it. They're all trying to get something from you. And the fact that she knows that and she's telling her, I've had to have some real serious conversations with my daughter. And it's not that, you know, you have to do that just because she's in Hollywood. No, you need to do that with your children, period. You need to tell your kid, you can't go spend the night over at this person's house. Not saying that this person's parents are pedophiles or that this person's parents are fucking statutory rapists or this person's parents will do something to you. I can't take the chance as an adult and as your parent, as your father, as your mother, to put you in a situation to where you are alone with another man, another woman. Plain and simple. Because I'm not there and because you can't fight, you can't fight your way out of it, you can't break free if something happens to you, and I'm not there, I'm not going to put you in a position to where you can be preyed upon. Because that's what happens. It's like when you're talking about a young girl hanging out with a dude, hanging out with friends, and that one guy wants to take her away to the side for 5 minutes, that's all it takes. 10 minutes, that's all it takes. Let's go outside. Let's go downstairs. Let's go upstairs and talk. Let's go to the backyard and have a conversation. Let's go in the garage. Let's go in my car. All it takes for a predator is 5 minutes to just peel her off, to peel him off to the side. That's all they're going to do. I just need to isolate you for a few minutes. That's what a predator thinks. If I can just get you alone for a few minutes, I can have my way one way or the other. I can either start to plant the seeds in your mind, or I can just get physical with you and just take it. And you don't want your child to be in that position or in that situation at 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 2, 1, 13, 18. You don't want them in that situation. And I always will keep saying this. You never, ever, ever, as a woman, young or old, you don't never put yourself in a situation where you're alone with a man that you don't want to fuck. If you don't have any intention of sleeping with this dude, don't you never be alone with him. I don't care if it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, in the car, outside, inside, upstairs, downstairs, outhouse, boathouse, dream house. It don't matter. Don't be alone with a man you don't want to sleep with. Because you never know. And even if you at the club and you drinking and all that bullshit and you drunk off your ass, don't go to the club and get drunk. Don't go to the club and take a drink that you ain't seen get poured yourself. Don't leave your drink nowhere while you go off to the bathroom with your girls, thinking your friend gonna watch out for you. You don't put that responsibility on nobody but yourself. You always make sure that you're in a position to where you will not be alone with a dude. You will not be alone with a woman, whatever the case may be, if you don't want to sleep with them. Going to the studio to hang out with R. Kelly, that's a no-no, because unless you want to fuck him. Plain and simple. And it shouldn't matter if you're 10, and it shouldn't matter if you're 20. If you don't want to sleep with the dude, don't go. Every man that's in Hollywood, every actor, writer, producer, songwriter, singer, rapper, everybody wants to sleep with you, ladies. They either want you to or they think you owe it to them. I'm going to give you this hit song. I'm going to give you this hit track. I'm going to let you sing on this hook. Then I want you to sing on my hook. That's what they want. And any nigga that tell you different is a fucking liar. Or he's gay. And then he wants the dude. Look here, man. You want this song? Then come on. Young Thug, you want to get this hit album? Then come on in the baby's office and be the baby. Because that's what they're going to do to you. Treat you like a baby. You're going to put the thing in your mouth and tell you it's a pacifier, and that's what you want. If you want to get your contract, that's what you do. The contract ain't going to pay you that much, but yes, indeed, baby is going to do it to you. That's what they going to do. He like it, he love it, and he want more of it. That's what they do with Cash Money. They should call it Cash Funny, because they funny acting. They funny with what they do. They want to get these dudes on stage and get them backstage and get them in the studio, get them on the couch, whatever. That's what they do back there. So you want to go to Cash Money, just make sure that you're ready to be like a bunny. And you're going to hop around on a couple of carrots before you get your hit song. And then you'll be out there in the world. You have all the fame with a sore booty. And we keep going.
Me having to tell her it's not you I don't trust.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about girls. When they get to those ages of 17, 18 years old, you think you're grown, right? And as a parent, you only have but so much control. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you, you were on my ass. You were like, you better be in this house. You were on me. And I'm like, I'm going to find a way to lie to her. I'm going to find a way to manipulate her. Oh, I'm staying at my girlfriend's house. While I'm on these streets, doing whatever the hell, I would be Azriel. I'd be like,
you see that? And that is why I definitely say, hey, I may not agree with everything Jada said, but I definitely agree with a lot of what she's saying, because she is really keeping that shit real. She's really telling the truth from a woman's perspective. There are plenty, and I'm going to even go and say the greater majority of women are thinking just like that. They know how to manipulate, especially at fucking 17 years old. They know how to manipulate their parents. They know what these niggas out here want. They know what these niggas is out here trying to do. And they want to be attached to that fame. They want to be attached to that celebrity. And they are willing to give it up and to play along, and that's why you was in a relationship for 10 years as opposed to just being statutory raped for 10 minutes. It wasn't that. And that's just what she said. I'll lie to my mama. I'll manipulate my mama. I'm going to tell this dude whatever it is, I'm with it. I'm going to be agreeable. I'm going to be rolling with it. Whatever he want to do, I'm going to do it. If he want me to shit in a bucket, fine. If he wants me to call him daddy, yes, I will. Because I want to be with him. I want to do what I want to do. That's what it is. And that's all it came down to with most of these girls. Because ain't not one of these girls that's coming forward. I ain't heard not one story, and not even from the documented stories, but I haven't even heard any rumors from the streets to where it was one time he took this young girl and he had his way with her and then he kicked her out or whatever and she went on. I ain't heard that story yet. All of these stories are multiple occasions where Kels is fucking these girls for some periods of time. And with the exception of the 14-year-old, all them other ones, that's bullshit. If a dude is statutory raping you, that means you didn't want it. He having sex with an underage person. Okay, fine. But you can't be no victim. Just say, yeah, I fucked him. I was 15. He broke the law, but I was with it. That's different than trying to say, I was a victim and I didn't know no better and I didn't understand what was going on. And it was 5 years later until I broke away. That's not what was going on. You was with it. Plain and simple. You was going with it. You was down for it. And that's just what Jada was talking. She was speaking to that. A lot of these young girls at that age, and I'm talking like I said, you're not the 14-year-old girl because she 14. Goddammit. That's just, hey, there is no goddamn explanation for that. You're guilty. You're wrong. You ain't shit for that. But these 16, 17-year-old girls, this is what y'all own. Y'all already know it. Half of y'all already fucking anyway. Plain and simple. You was getting it. That girl, Osriel, she lied to her parents up until literally the day she turned 18. And then was like, fuck y'all. I'm out here. I'm with him. You can't do shit about it now. I'm 18 now. I'm not your little girl no more. I'm his little girl. I'm his little hoe. That's what I'm doing. That's what I want to do. I've been trying to tell y'all for the past year, 2 years. You don't want to listen. Well, now you ain't got a choice. That's exactly what she did. The day she turned 18, she told her parents, fuck y'all. I'm out here. Cash me outside next to Kel's house. That's where I'm at.
Damn. Hold up. I got a dream. Now, you're not going to get in the way of that.
Exactly. Oh my God.
This man is saying he might give me an opportunity. You're not thinking about anything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would have been able to manipulate and work my way around you. Believe that.
Woo! Boy, I'm telling you. If that ain't no fucking truth for your ass, and I'm telling you right now, you show that to a lot of women and they ain't gonna say shit. They ain't gonna have shit to say about that shit. Cause she told it flat out what it was. She told it straight with no chaser. I would have done it. I will do it. I would have manipulated the fuck out of you, mama. Why? Because it's what I wanted. It was my dream. It was all I wanted to do. Because at that age, that's what you're thinking about. I want to do what I want to do. I'm grown and I'm fine. That's it. Don't shit else matter. Because that in our world, that's exactly what you will get catered to because of that. And women need to realize that yes, you gotta. It's like a fucking. It's a clock, man. It's a ticking clock, and the clock is ticking faster than you think, ladies. It's thinking faster than you think. And it's like, yes, I get it. Some of you women just want to be a whore. You want to release the inner whore that is inside of you. And if that's what you want to do, and you want to be somebody's dirty little slut, fine. But don't be out on Instagram and YouTube and on Twitter flaunting it because it's a time clock on it. It's fleeting. And don't have a kid as a product of it. You don't want to bring that home as a fucking souvenir to say, yeah, I was in Holand for the past 3 years, and here's my prize, little Raekwon. You don't want to do that to yourself. If you're going to go out and do what you're going to do, be a thought it up, don't bring a kid into it. Or how about this? Why don't you go and build something for yourself? Why don't you go and do something that's going to help you take care of you? Women always talking about, I do so much for everybody. I just give and give and give. And they just take and take and take. And there's nothing left for me. Well, when you fucking 18, that's when you need to be building. That's when you need to be setting yourself up for success. When you're 22, instead of you just laying up, letting some nigga with money fuck on you, why don't you take your ass and get your education so that you can have a career? So that you can actually have the money that you need, so that you can live the way you want, so you can make the decisions that you want to make as an adult. So you don't have to hope that a nigga do you right. So you don't have to hope that a nigga won't do you wrong. So you don't have to worry about if a nigga gonna pick you or not. You picking yourself. Choose yourself. Because at the end of the day, the best person to bet on is you. You know what you gonna do when you get up every day. You know what you will do, you know what you won't do, you know what you can do, you know what you can't do. Better than anybody else in the world. So why not bet on yourself? Set yourself up when you young, so when you do get older, you just might find you somebody that's a fucking millionaire that want to take care of you because you so fucking sweet, you so fine, you take such good care of them. Great. But if you don't, you can still live a great life. You can still go where you want. You can still buy what you want. You can drive what you want. You can live where you want when you have your own. And I'm telling you, ladies, it's such an attractive thing when you can do that for yourself to other men who would do it for you. And it is nothing like having those things yourself and then to say, well, I can pick this up and put it down whenever I want to. I can do for myself whenever I want to. That's what women should be saying is winning. Instead of hoes winning, women should be winning with that. That's what women should be aspiring to be. Because everybody can't be a Cardi B. Everybody can't be a Nicki Minaj. You can't go from the pole to the fucking Grammys, all of y'all. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen that way. Everybody can't be a fucking Sierra, where you go out and fuck a bunch of celebrities, have a baby by a nigga, then find a simp like Russell Wilson to come and marry you and wheel you off into living a life of luxury and it's all good with another nigga's kid. That's an NFL superstar. You talking about a dude, Russell Wilson was a guy, he was one of the most eligible bachelors in the world. And he picked a woman who was being ran through by a rap star and had previously been sleeping around with other rap stars. I don't get this whole thing. I don't even want to get off into this, but I don't get this whole thing to where niggas, especially niggas with money, want to fuck the same women that everybody else is fucking in their circles. That shit is, it's crazy to me. I think it's just something to where women, the traits of, because that's something that women have done in the past. They fuck each other's man. They'll fuck the same man. They all fucking the same dude. That's stuff that women have done. And I believe that because women have been raising these young boys, that's some of the shit that will trickle down into them. Because these niggas talk about that shit in rap songs all day. I'm fucking your bitch. I fucked your bitch. I take your bitch. I get your bitch. I take. It's too many women out here for you to be worried about some other dude's woman. I don't get that shit. It's like there is a man shortage. So it's like it's enough women out here for dudes to have 2 or 3 of their own. Why would you want his? I want to put my dick where your dick been. That's what I want to do. I want to see if she like my dick better than your dick. So I'm going to try to get her. What? You shouldn't even be caring about that, especially being a rap star or being a celebrity, period. I wouldn't want none of these niggas women. I'm good. Baby, I just saw you on the thing on Instagram with Future. I'm straight. I just saw you on Instagram with Young Thug. I'm straight. I just saw you wherever with these. I'm good. Why? Because it's plenty more that look better or just as good as them, and they ain't been with these other dudes. So why would you just gravitate towards that? I don't get that shit. That shit is crazy to me. I think it's something really wrong. When I hear dudes talk about that, I be thinking like, there's something wrong with this nigga. That's what you want. I wanna be the dude who fuck everybody else's girl. Nigga, that means you just like sloppy seconds. You like going up behind other niggas? That's your thing? Whatever. I digress on that. That's another show within itself, I guess. We got to do that one. Because, man, I don't get it, man. That shit is wild.
While I'm on these streets doing whatever the hell, I would be Azriel. I'd be like, Gam, hold up. I got a dream. Now, you're not going to get in the way of that.
Exactly. Oh my God.
This man is saying he might give me an opportunity. You're not thinking about anything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would have been able to manipulate and work my way around you. Believe that. Any one of us could have been Azriel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a brilliant psychologist who appeared on Surviving R. Kelly, Dr. Candace Norcott.
It takes about 7 tries for a girl to successfully leave her abuser for good. That statistic tells us how difficult it is often to pull away from these relationships.
That's a fucking lie. I just couldn't believe that she said that, because it's not that it takes 7 tries for a woman to leave an abuser. It's that a lot of women don't have the tools to get away from an abuser. A lot of women stay with an abusive ass nigga because they don't have the 3 core things to survive: food, clothing, and shelter. Shout out to my man FSC if he out there somewhere. Shout out to you, brother. But if a woman ain't got no food, no clothing, and no shelter, that's something that they will depend on a man for and will stay in a fucked up relationship. That ain't no, it's taken me 7 times to get, I don't know why the fuck she thought of that or what fucking book she got that from. That shit right there is some stupid shit. And I'm stopping the press on that just to tell you, women, don't think that if you with a fuck nigga or ain't shit dude, that it's gonna take you 7 times to get away from that motherfucker. That's not smart at all. That's very stupid. To think that that's what it takes to get out of an abusive relationship is some dumb shit. Because that means essentially, if you my girl and we together and I come home one day and beat the shit out of you, that means, based on her logic or whatever fucking book she got out of, that I get to actually kick your ass another 6 times before you will leave. Now, if there are some women in the whatchamacallit in the chat that can agree to that say, yeah, I need a dude to beat my ass 7 times before I leave. I need a dude to cheat on me 7 times before I leave. I need a dude to do something fuck shit to me 7 times for me to actually be done. Then please correct me now. I don't understand that. Now, a woman saying, I can't leave because I ain't got nowhere to go, I'm going to be fucking homeless, or I don't want to stay in a fucking shelter, or I don't want to live in the church basement, I get that. But that whole 7 times thing, that's some stupid fuck shit that somebody done told her, or she done learned in some fucking bullshit class based on some stupid ass survey, that I don't want nobody to subscribe for that. I don't want nobody to subscribe to that. You should be able to get to the point to where you say, hey, look, the minute it gets to a point to where it is not safe or it is unhealthy for me physically, emotionally, spiritually, when those things are at a deficit, then it's time to leave. Period. Now, if you stay, that's on you, and that's your responsibility. You need to hold yourself accountable for that. But don't think that, or don't subscribe to the thought or the notion that it take you 7 times, 6 times, or 5 times to leave. Shouldn't be that way. And that's the type of shit that where you need to have parents and daddies around to make sure that shit don't happen. 7 times. What kind of stupid shit is that? Man, people will say any fucking thing.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely, yeah.
I want to ask you to help us understand the invisible psychological chains that are created, specifically on an impressionable mind, young mind.
Because a lot of the women left and came back, and just trying to help us understand why that happens. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, once you're gone, you're done. Be done with that. You know, we see women, but it began with girls,
children,
right?
right.
As children.
Yeah.
It's a slow process. And in the human trafficking field, they're starting to use the term identity distortion.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
I might call you a different name and say, this is the name I'm going to use. And so now you're not really who you were. Then I'm going to ask you to do different things that you normally wouldn't do. And so then you can just put on that like, oh, well, this is my new identity. And so when you start to then shift and get programmed into that new person, how do you go back from that?
So here's the thing. Programming is inevitable. Programming happens every day. When you're watching TV, when you're looking at shit on the internet, when you're watching whatever the case may be, programming occurs. There's always programming. Stuff you see from the media, stuff you see from your environment, where you live, what you see when you look outside your window, what you see in your house, in your kitchen, all of that stuff. It's all programming. The key to that is that you have to be, first of all, mature enough to be able to deal with certain things, certain arenas. Sometimes, and most times, young women, young girls, they don't have the mental capacity to deal with older men, older women. Same thing with young boys, older women. It's the same exact thing. When a young boy gets hooked by some older woman, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's doing the same thing that an older man does for a young girl. You give them access to resources that they don't have. Young people have good looks and they don't have money. Old people don't have good looks, but they have money. Two come together. Now, when you have somebody that's of age and can understand what the arrangement is, can understand what that thing is, and can deal with it, have the mental capacity to deal with it, it works. Because it's, hey, I like you for this, you like me for that. I don't mind doing this, and I don't mind doing that. That's called a partnership. That's called an exchange for goods and services, whatever you want to call it, a deal. When you can do that and you have the mental capacity to do that, then that's great. It's fine. Do what you're going to do. However, when you're 14, you don't have that because you still have that part of you that is being matured, that is still learning. And when you have an adult to come in and fuck with your head like that and to tell you, oh, well, call me daddy. Oh, you call me your mama. Call me mommy. When you doing it to me, you call me. That shit has a psychological effect on you. Plain and simple. When we do what we do, we don't tell nobody. We gonna have secrets. It's just us. This is just for me and you. This is exclusive. Don't tell nobody. Or you say, hey, if you tell somebody, I'll kill your parents. A kid will believe that shit. Plain and simple. You know one of the weird things, I'm going to tell you something. You know one of the weirdest things that I tell my daughter sometimes when we talk and we just have conversation? I tell my daughter at this young age that you know your daddy can't get hurt and your daddy can't die. And people will look at that and be like, what kind of shit is that? You know why I tell her that? Because if somebody ever tell her that they will kill her daddy or kill her mama or hurt her daddy or hurt her mama, I want her to think or be able to say, nah, my daddy's Superman. He can't die. Because I want her to tell me if something goes wrong. I want her to give me some type of information and not be scared because some other fucker then got in her head. So it's like you have to be able to put yourself in a position to say, well, you know what? I know that this is a kid and I know that this kid is impressionable. So I'm going to impress what it is that I have onto this kid. And when you think about the type of person that does that, it's usually the type of person that had it done to them. You know the saying, hurt people hurt people? It is what it is. That shit is passed down and it's pressed upon, like I keep saying, the things that are pressed upon, that R. Kelly is pressing upon a young 14-year-old girl is the same shit that was oppressed on him at an even younger age. He was 7, 8 years old. Not getting fucked by the neighbor, not getting fucked by the teacher, not getting fucked by the lady down the street, not getting fucked by the cousin, not getting fucked by the auntie. He's getting fucked by his sister. Do you really think that that person is mentally stable? Do you really think that that person has all of his shit working right? Now you got this same person who's an adult now, who's around another impressionable kid, 14 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years. It don't matter. The fact that you have what you have and what another person wants, you have leverage. You want to be with a celebrity? I am. I'm a celebrity. You like money? I got money. You like fancy cars? I got a Rolls. I got a Beamer. I got a Bentley. I got a Range Rover. I'll let you drive it. But you know what you got to do for me? You know what I want. And it gets to the point where when you want something bad enough, you willing to give it. That's just like with most men. You know why most men, you don't hear about most men talking about they got taken advantage of by older women? You know why most dudes will say, man, I was with this girl, that woman was fucking me when I was 15. You know why? Because they look at it like, well, shit, I like pussy. I wanted some pussy. Not necessarily want to fuck her old ass, but the fact that she was there and she was giving me pussy and she was giving me money, she bought me every pair of Jordans when they came out. At that time, you don't know the value of your seed. You don't know the value of your virility and being young, being able to fuck 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a day. You don't know the value of that, and you let somebody equate that and value your ass at a pair of $250 shoes. And you were pretty much at their disposal. It's the same thing with women, except you're doing it for a Gucci bag. You're doing it for some red bottoms. You are taking what it is that you want, the physical things that you want, the toys and the trinkets and the status and the likes and all of that shit. You are taking that and you're saying, I'm willing to give you my body and access to my body and my mind and all that I have just for what you can give me. Problem with that is that men, we can detach that. That's just the way that we're wired. A man can go and fuck 8 different women and be like, okay, we just fucked. A woman, she fuck around and she can fuck 1 or 2, 3 or 4, whatever, but she's getting attached in some shape, form, or fashion to each one of them dudes. That's why whores are so messed up. That's why hookers are so messed up. Prostitutes don't have it all. You ever see some that what's that shit called on HBO? Hunts Point. I forget what they called that show. But when you look at that and you look at that show, you will see that those women that are on those shows, they talk about the worst life possible. They will tell you and speak to that. It ain't never been all good. It ain't never been a story where you hear a stripper or a whore talking about, yeah, I just wanted to live this life ever since I was a young girl, and now that I'm out here, I'm just doing me and I'm just having a good time at life. You'll never hear them saying that. It's always, well, when I was 8, my uncle, he raped me. When I was 13, my cousin forced himself on me, so I was being, sexually abused. That's how every last one of them stories start. It's never a story where, well, I wanted to wait until I was 18, and then I wanted to become a street worker because that was something I always had aspired to do. It's never like that. All of these women are sexually abused or have been oversexed at a young age, which is why they do what they do. They all have had it. I've never yet to this day heard one story about a prostitute that has said, yep, this is what I wanted to do from the beginning. This is where it all started out for me. Never heard it. Because it's always some type of trauma that comes along that leads them down that path. It's like taking a car and just driving off down the street. Here's where we gonna go. This is what we gonna do. And they get into that, and it's a fucking hole that they keep digging for themselves because they don't know how to get out. They don't have any tools. They don't have any type of skills to do for themselves. So they are at a point to where they are literally being fucked, and they're constantly being fucked over. And it just leads them down a path to where they begin to not even be able. They're sleeping with so many dudes that they can't even cope and they can't even process it because of the attachment. Because of the mental stress that it puts on them, they now have to drink. Then they have to get high. Then they can't do it unless they high. They got to start their day out getting high before they go have their first trick. Before their first John come, I got to get fucked up. They're not wired that way. Women are not wired that way. And all that shit about, yeah, I can do what I do. Men are just like women. They are not. We are seed planters. Women are fertile soil. They are the soil. You don't take a pot of dirt and put 6 different seeds in it, do you? I'm gonna grow some corn, string beans. I'm gonna grow some black eyed peas and some bell peppers. I'm gonna grow all of that right here. You don't do that because something's gonna suffer in doing it. You don't do it. And when you put all those seeds together, those different plants, the shit ain't gonna work out. Something's gonna suffer. And that goes to the point of proving that a woman is not meant to sleep around with a bunch of dudes. Do you know that they say it's a scientific fact that the first man that ejaculates inside of a woman, his DNA is intertwined with hers. That's why when you hear people talk about soul ties, I believe in that shit. That's why you have women that get hooked on a dude and it's their first love. Every woman in here remember their first love. And they remember their first love and it takes them back to a place they be like, yeah, whether it was a good experience or a terrible experience. If it was, hey, I got raped the first time I had sex or whatever, or it was terrible. Whatever it is, that first dude that you have that experience with, it's an lasting impression. It's a lasting impression because there is a bond that takes place. Now, you have women today that do it so much and they start at such a young age that they don't know how to connect. They don't have that bond. But you see the effects of it because they're unstable. They're mentally unstable. That's why you'll have a woman, either she'll be on the straight and narrow path and she'll be like, hey, I got this one guy and that's just what we are. We working it out. We doing our thing. Or you'll have that woman who dealing with 3 or 4 niggas throughout the year. Every year. And you look at them numbers. You imagine a girl who is 15 who starts having sex at 15 and she dates on average and is having sex with on average, let's say 3 dudes. Because most of these girls are at least 3 to 4 dudes a year. You'll see their status change from together, boyfriend, it's complicated, single, it's complicated, boyfriend, single, it's complicated. You'll see that shit. Look at these statuses. And you'll see them go through that stage of those phases. And then you'll wonder, like, why do they just keep doing it? Because they get so fucked up in the head that it's hard for them to have a stable relationship with one person. It just is. And they get into this cycle of it being to where they're like, God damn, I'm dealing with all this shit where I'm still thinking about this last dude that I was fucking, but he don't want me no more because he was fucking my friend, or he fucked my sister, now he's fucking my sister, or he fucked my cousin, and I ain't know until I found out late, but I still want him because I still got feelings for him, but I'm going to fuck his friend because I got to get back at him, and hopefully I get back at him. I ain't going to feel no better, but I'm going to still get back at him because that's get back. Fuck that. He ain't going to do that to me, but there's this other guy that I kind of like him, but I might fuck him too. So now you fucking 3 dudes already. One that you really like, but he did you wrong. The second one because you got to get him back. And then this third one that you kind of like, but you don't know because you still stuck on the first one. Tell me that ain't the truth. Tell me that I'm not lying. That's what these young girls are going through. And we just talking about the ones she like, not the ones that's liking her. We ain't even talking about them. The ones that's hitting her DM. The one that's hitting her messenger. The one that's direct messaging her every day trying to get up with a shorty, I'll buy you this. Shorty, I'll buy you that. Shorty, I'll take you out. Let me take you out. Let me buy you this. What's your favorite drink? Let's blow something together. Let's get high. Let's do this. And they like, yeah, cool. I can smoke for free. I'm going to drink for free. I'm going to eat for free. You keep going out with this nigga, you going to give him some pussy or some head or something just to keep it going. And then what does it come out to be? I done fucked 4 or 5 dudes just this 1 year. So you take that and let's go 5 years forward. Now you 20 and you slept with probably anywhere between 15 to 20 different niggas in your first 5 years of fucking. Take that another 10 years, another 5 years. Now you at 30 to 40. And I'm being generous. If you stand in that vein, let's be conservative about it. In 10 years, you done fucked 9, 10 dudes, 15 dudes? Really? And all of them shooting up the club. Now somebody might be watching this and be like, that ain't true. Man, that's some bullshit. It ain't like that. Then you would tell me, then say this. Let's say this then. If what I'm saying ain't true, then how is it that most girls that are in their mid to late 20s got at least 2 to 3 kids and they ain't got the same daddy? Now we talking about the products of your fucking. We not talking about the dicks that you ain't counting. The dick that you got at the club, on the dance floor. The dick you got that one night when you was drunk a little bit. The dick you got that late night that you really didn't want nobody to know, but you was horny and you just let them come by that one time. You had your one night stand. We ain't even counting them dicks. Them dicks y'all tend to not count. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's what you're doing every year. So you talking about from the ages of 15 to 25, when you first started having sex over that 10-year span, you have possibly at least slept with 15 to 20 dudes. How can you really be able to process that mentally? How can you really be able to have a stable relationship, be able to work through some shit? And you know what happens? You keep living that life, and all you're doing is literally whoring yourself out. You having sex for resources. He got a car, he got money, he got this, he got that. Hey, that's what I do. And you get to the point to where now you're in your 40s and you see that now your beauty is starting to fade. Your body is starting to change. Your titties are starting to sag. Your ass is getting lumpy. So now you want to get somebody that's going to stay with you for the rest of it because it's going to get worse. So now you're like, well, damn, who can I find? I don't know. I got to change it up. Okay, from now on, I ain't fucking on the first night. From now on, I'm going to be celibate. From now on, you got to be willing to be with me and my kids and adopt my kids and be a husband. Or I ain't fucking with you. What? So let me get this straight. You go and fuck whoever you want to fuck the first 10 or 15 years of your fucking life, your fucking career. Then as your shit starts to get out of whack, stretched out, dried out, sagging, scraped up, all of this shit, now somebody else has to be willing to invest for life to be with you? Man, we shouldn't even look at a person that's like that. Anytime a grown-ass woman that tells you she's not having sex until she get married and she's not a virgin, fuck her. Literally and figuratively. If she ain't willing to give you no ass that she done gave to plenty other motherfuckers that ain't worth for shit, obviously, because she's by herself still, then you damn sure shouldn't have to pay the penalty for that. You damn sure shouldn't have to suffer for that. Let me get back on this shit so I can get up out of here.
Put in so much. You've done so much. How can I come back? Right? How can I come back from this? Who will accept me after everything I've done?
That's very interesting because when I look at Dominique, that would be a prime example, huh?
Wasn't that powerful?
It was so powerful.
That was powerful.
But the idea that her hair had been shaved, tatted up.
But did you guys not realize when TMZ was interviewing the Savage's daughter, nobody realized that was a girl with her?
Yeah.
They kept saying, oh, she's by herself, she's out with friends. No, it was still a controlling situation because he sent another one of his...
I don't know what everybody else said, but that looked like a girl to me. She look a little butch. Yeah, she may be like a little boy, but she don't look like no damn dude. I would have been like, oh, that's a girl. She just dressed up like a dude. She's a transformer. Robot in disguise.
Girls with her.
Right.
So if she did try to get away, the other one would get on the phone. You get what I mean? Like nobody even
like
realized.
to police each other, like
Right. Everyone thought that was a guy, though. That's what you get what I mean?
Yes, he
Nobody
allegedly
did.
changed her identity to go along with what you were saying.
Everything.
And oftentimes that's what happens, right? Let me tattoo you, let me brand you.
Yeah.
Or let me just make you different than the person you were so you can't go back.
We had like a really big argument one time. Me and Rob, we were talking about breaking up, everything. And it only was an argument because I had got drunk that night and I wasn't supposed to because I didn't speak up much. Right. But I got drunk that night. Mm-hmm. The next day I was afraid. I didn't know what was going to happen. He calls me down. He plays a song called I Don't Mean It that he had just wrote. So he would do things like that.
Now I might tell you it through, but I don't mean it. And I might tell you the truth, but I don't mean it. I may pull some silly stunts, but it's just a front. I don't mean it. See, I never meant to break you down and make you cry. You got a nigga singing that to you, you gonna be like, yes, it's okay, Robert, we back together again. Yeah, we is. That's a dude who is manipulating you. Plain and simple. You with that dude because of that. That is the thing right there that these women are attracted to. That's why they are with him. That's why they're doing it. That's why you will sit in a room by yourself, pissing and shitting in a bucket, staying in a house completely, willingly, 1000%. I don't want to leave because of shit like that. That nigga used his gift. He used his gift to keep your ass in it. Just like niggas that beat your ass and buy you money. I mean, buy things with their money. Just like, you remember in What's Love Got to Do With It? Motherfuckers, Ike Turner whooped the shit out of Tina. What'd he do the next day? He brought her a beautiful, expensive dress. Here you go, baby. I know I whooped your ass last night. I'm going to put this right here on the end of the bed. You go ahead and get you some sleep. Put some ice on that, and I'll see you later. That's what he did. And when you open up that box, when you hear that song, you have to make a decision. Is what it is that I'm giving up worth this, not worth this dress, worth this bag? Just like that old hoe that was going back and forth with Kels, flying in and out and following him all around, doing all this stuff. She was doing that and she was coming home. Her own daughter said it. In the other video I did, her own daughter said, this bitch wasn't even working no more. She was going off with this nigga for weeks at a time, coming back with Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, red bottoms, all of that shit. That's what she was doing. She was willing to say, I will be your slave. Literally. I will be your slave. You take me shopping. You hit me with the dick. You buy me some shoes. You give me some clothes. You pay for my airfare. You pay for my whatever. You pay for my dinner. You take me to a fancy restaurant. You let me know when and when I can't eat. Whatever the case may be. I'll do that to be connected to you for this. This is a resource. I can drive the Range Rover. I can ride around in the Bentley. I can have access to this house. I can have access to this car. I got people that'll get me this and get me. That's what you're doing. It's the money. Oh, somebody had put in the chat earlier, must be the money. That Deion Sanders song. That's what it is. That's part of it. That celebrity lifestyle is what these girls wanted to be connected to. And you cannot discount that and say, oh, they didn't know no better. They was victims. You sure as fuck did know that. Because if I can write a song for your ass that became a fucking part of a hit album, you gonna sit there and say, he wrote that for me, girl. Just like she did right now. Just like she did right now. She literally just said, I Don't Mean It was written for her by Robert. Tell me I'm lying.
Yeah. Write songs for you. You get what I mean? Like, we were talking about breaking up, everything, and it only was an argument because I had got drunk that night and I wasn't supposed to because I didn't speak up much. But I got drunk that night. The next day I was afraid. I didn't know what was going to happen. He calls me down. He plays a song called I Don't Mean It that he had just wrote. So he would do things like that. Yeah. Write songs for you. You get what I mean? Like, and you're thinking, oh, this is great. You done forgot.
Right.
What he just threw water in your face and said you're out of here, and you know what I mean?
Right.
But then he comes.
Now you notice she didn't say he beat my ass. He stomped me with some Timbs. He took my head and banged it up against the bathroom floor, or he took my head and hit me up against a marble counter. He slapped me 4 times. This nigga said that she took some water and threw it in her face and said you threw. And she stayed. And then he wrote her a song that he probably didn't write just for her. It was just some shit he wrote because he's a musical genius, and told her that shit. And she bought it hook, line, and sinker. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. Now I might tell you this song's for you, but I don't mean it. And I might tell you it through, but I don't mean it. I may pull a bunch of silly stunts and smoke a few blunts, but I don't mean it. Yes, I do, because that's what I do. I do mean it. That's what he did. And she was cool with it.
Comes and does something like that, and then you're kind
feel
of like
special again.
Yeah, like exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly, and that's the type of things I know he would do.
Women don't necessarily want the relationship to stop. They just want the abuse to stop. I want to be with this person that was vulnerable with me, that shared that love with me.
I just want him to be nice. Like,
I want him to do what I want him to do is what they're asking, is what they're saying. I want him to give me everything. I want to be connected to his celebrity. I want to enjoy the benefits of the lifestyle that he lives and what he works for, the fruits of his labor. And then I want him to do all the things that I want him to do. Be this knight in shining armor that is going to save my fucking life and take me places I never would have gone on my own. That's what I want. Not to mention the fact that I know he's a married man with 3 children, but I don't give a fuck about any of that because I want what I want. I just want to fuck R. Kelly and I want to enjoy all of his money and everything that he has. How asinine is that? Because everybody still keeps just randomly forgetting the fact that the 10 years she was with this dude and all those other hoes that was with him, the man was a married man and y'all knew it. And you didn't care. But now you're a victim. What type of woman would just repeatedly have an ongoing relationship with a married man for all of those years and is still a victim? Tell me how, Sway. How do you do that? And expect for, and my thing is this. How is it that women ain't calling that shit out? Because all of you married women out there, if some woman was sleeping with your married man for 10 years, you mean to tell me that you ain't gonna have no animosity for that bitch? You mean to tell me that you ain't gonna be like, well, damn, bitch, how are you a victim? You was fucking my husband for years and you knew about it. How are you a victim? You fucked a married man consistently, repeatedly, willingly, wantingly. You did that. And ain't nobody holding these hoes accountable for that? At 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 32, 42, they was all doing it. Come on, man. You cannot just keep that shit and just throw it out the window or we just gonna fail to not talk about that. Because they don't mention that shit here. Like, yeah, so why would you think it's okay to fuck a married man for 10 years? Where's your moral compass on that shit if you want somebody to do right and treat you right?
But I want the abuse to stop, and so they'll stay because they're just hoping, and then they get those glimpses like you described.
Would you say that in a lot of these situations that if the abuse goes unchecked, it will progress?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those, even calling somebody out of their name, that's a test, right?
Yes.
Let me see how she's going to react to that,
Yep.
right? Let me see. Okay, that she didn't like that. So let me pull back and just, get her there, right?
Then I can use it more often.
That is so interesting.
And you don't know what love is when you're younger. You don't know how it's supposed to look if you've never had it, if you've had abuse experience. Yeah. And then especially if you're a star, right? And you're inviting somebody into your world, this is how it is.
Right.
She's right. You don't know what love is when you're young. And the best example that you can have for it, the best blueprint that you can have for it, would be if your mother and father were in the house. Would be if you saw how your mother and father interacted. When you could see the day-to-day love between your mother and your father, your parents give you the blueprint for who you are and what you want to be and the things that you will accept and not accept. So yes, if you don't ever hear your daddy call your mama a bald-headed bitch, then when somebody does say that to you, it will be so shocking that it will send you an instant red flag. All the sirens and bells will go off and you will know that at the end of the day, I may not know what love is, but I do know that this ain't it. That's why it's so important to have a mama and a daddy. That's why it's so important for your parents, for you women out there that are gonna have kids, to be a wife, to be married. Because when you get married, you tend to work shit out, you tend to work through shit, and then when you have a kid and you bring a kid into it, now you also have something that you've invested in together that you both want to see be successful. So that's why it's so important. Because the fact that people are saying, well, we don't know what love is. You should be able to say, well, I know from what my parents did and how my parents were. They were married for 45 years. They were married for 82 years. They was married for 74 years. So I know what that is. I know what it's like to be together. I know what it's like to take care of a man. I know what it's like when a man takes care of a woman because I've seen it. I've lived in it. That's why. That's the problem. So you got a bunch of people who don't know what the fuck love is, who don't have an example of what love is, but they're steady trying to find that very thing. Because they think love is resources. They think love is Gucci. They think love is TV. They think love is 1,000 likes. They think love is 1.5 million subs. They think love is all of these shares. They think love is views. So you've gone from the craving of love that we want from each other. You've gone from getting it from drugs. You've gone to getting it from the internet, social media. That's where it is now. That's the new high. Social media. What people think of me and my pictures and my statements that I make on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, that's what love is. That's what matters most to me, and I will do anything. I will say anything. I will do whatever. I'll lie, cheat, steal. I'll get 2 Nigerians to come and rehearse with me on how they can beat my ass and make me think I'm getting my ass whooped by 2 white racist MAGA country loving people, and then I tell the whole world that I'm the gay Tupac. I don't know. I just came off the top of my head. I don't know where I got that from, but yeah. Here's what it is. Just lying ass.
And me, 17, dating a 31-year-old, like, how would I know what dating a man would be like at 17?
And he's like, let me tell you.
So, yeah, and that's what happened, and that's how I would be thinking that in my head, and he's, all I could say to myself is, well, he's a grown man. He would know better than I would. You know what I mean?
Now that's...
What she should be saying is that my daddy would know. My daddy would tell me. My daddy has shown me. My daddy taught me. My daddy displayed it for me. My mama taught me. My mama showed me. My mama and my daddy taught me. My mama and my daddy were this every day. My mama and my daddy showed me that every day. That's what she should be saying. And they don't even realize that that's the missing piece here. That's how shit goes left. That's how young girls make bad decisions. That's how young girls get stuck. That's how young men do make bad decisions. That's how young men get stuck. That's how young men wind up having kids at 15 to 16 years old because they don't have daddies to tell them the difference. They don't have mamas and daddies living together to teach them the difference. It's a unit. One without the other. You need to have both. It's balance. And when you don't have both, you are putting your kid at a disadvantage. All that my mama still made me into a man, bullshit. You are a damaged individual. And you're so damaged that you don't even know it. Because you didn't have that other piece. And shout out to everybody that has donated to me. I'll read the donations in a little bit here. But I want to thank everybody that has donated so far. My phone done went off a few times here. I appreciate y'all. And if you haven't donated or you want to donate, go right on ahead. It's right there in the description. It's all good.
It's an interesting point that you both just brought up. Just the idea that you are young, you don't know what love is supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us haven't seen very good examples of it in the first place. Right.
But I think about, I'm listening to you and I'm just thinking about myself because I did have a perfectly beautiful example in front of me that I lived with every day, but somehow I got in my head that being beat was a sign of love and the amount of love that he had for me. Like, he wouldn't bother to beat me if he didn't love me. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how I ever got that concept in my head.
What do you think, Dr. Norcott? Could we get a quick therapy session for Gammy?
No, we have to sign consent and everything. It's the whole thing.
Right.
And I'm glad you brought that up because one person's experience is not everybody's, right? I have a great relationship with my father, but how did this happen, right? I had a great role model with a male role model in my house, and yet and still. And because we're not immune. We no, there but for the grace of God go I. And there's something called just world fallacy, where and the one side of it is good things happen to good people.
Right.
But flip that on its head, right? If something bad happens to you, well, what did she do? That's her fault, right? And
So I find it quite interesting that this psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, this doctor, relationship therapist, whatever it was, I found it quite odd that she wasn't able to speak to that. I find it quite odd that she wasn't even able to point out the fact to say, well, if you did that and you had this effect, this affected you to the point to where you had a man that was doing something that you hadn't seen before, what type of relationship did you have with your father? Because a lot of times you can have relationships and, you can have your parents in the household, but there are plenty of times where your father could be there or your mother could be there and not be present. They're there, but not really there. A father who goes out, goes to work 10 or 12 hours a day, comes home, eats, watches TV, and goes to sleep. He's not present. Did you talk to your father? What did your father teach you about men? Why wouldn't she at least ask that question or at least make that statement? I find that kind of odd to believe, even though I'm not no certified relationship therapist, but I have counseled several people about their relationships, and I definitely would have brought that up. That instantly clicked in my head. The fact that she said that what she said with her being in a relationship with a man that beat her while she had both her parents in the house. Yes, you can have both of your parents in the house, but how you relate to them is a totally different thing. And the fact that she had that type of negative relationship or toxic relationship with a man that she was with for obviously some time, then that would trigger to me like, what is the relationship, or what was your father's relationship like with you growing up? I'm quite sure that there was an impact that had. The fact that I would say, did your mother and father, did you see that type of relationship between those two? No, they never did that. Then there was something missing from you to how that your father did not teach you on how to relate to and how to be in relationship with a man, to where you got something that was so negative and it was overpowering to you. Because an aggressive male like that will definitely be able to dominate a less aggressive female. How many times have you seen a dude who would grab a woman and check her motherfucking ass and be like, look here, goddammit, and a woman will instantly submit to that because she is the weaker vessel. Now, if you got some big offensive line burly bitch, then that's something totally different, because you just might get your ass whooped and be knocked the fuck out somewhere. But for the most part, most men that are aggressive or overly aggressive, they usually tend to seek out more docile women, or women that they know that they can actually go after like that. They will prey on those type of women. The weaker of the flock. That woman that they see that's smaller, that woman that they see that's mentally not as strong, they will prey on that. So I just got that, and I don't have no degree. I'm just saying. So, hey, Red Table, book me. Put me on. I can have a discussion, because I can definitely do what this girl is doing, because what she doing ain't too much of nothing. That's just my opinion. But hey, queens are like assholes. Everybody got one. And at a lot of times, I am an asshole. Shall we proceed?
Oh, and so we have to be careful.
Right.
I feel like that's what a lot of people like the negative comments that I'm seeing about the docuseries. It's always kind of that mindset of like, oh, if something that bad happened, then she must have done something to make that come upon her. Like, no one in their head is like I'm gonna get no one's thinking they're gonna get abused. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like that.
Who's walking through that door?
Exactly.
Right. Lisa, let me ask you, did you feel like someone was ever going to come and save you, or do you feel like everyone just let you down? Were you waiting for that?
One of the major questions I had when I was a child, I know I used to always say, why didn't they want me? My parents.
Right.
So that was,
Yeah.
that makes you feel like you're not worth. You know. And I talked to him about that.
Do you feel like at times he filled that void for you? Made you feel really worthy, and feeling like you weren't worthy and you were unwanted? That I've got this
like
guy
and
who
it
wants
was,
me.
It was misguided, but I thought that you know what I mean. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Now, here is one instance where I do agree with this young lady. And the thing about it is that, yes, you can be in this type of situation where you have, obviously, severe self-esteem issues because you were a foster kid, because you didn't have a father, and because of those things, and you not actually getting help for those things, not seeing a psychiatrist, not going to talk to somebody or getting counseling for those things, because you didn't, it led you to make the bad decisions that you did. Like going to a video shoot to go after a man that you were obviously attracted to and wanted to be with. And to have a mother who obviously didn't have the same, a foster mother who obviously did not have a father or didn't grow up in that type of environment and thought it was okay for her to just get a kid and to raise a kid without having a father figure around or anything like that. It led you to that because you don't have that male input. You don't have that male energy to learn from and to be used to be able to know how to deal with that kind of stuff. So yes, the lack of not having that fucked your head up and put you in a position to where you made bad decisions and you didn't know how to get out once you dug your hole and was in it.
Yeah, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
To not have any male role models.
Yeah.
You just, how would you know what the love of a male is supposed to be like?
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, this is like just, this all points back, and the reason why I'm saying this and trying to drive this home is for those that haven't had this happen to them yet, that haven't gone through this yet. Because, yeah, it's all sensationalized and put on TV when it's R. Kelly, but when it's the nigga down the street, when it's the dude around the corner, when it's the dude in the fucking corner store, when it's the uncle, when it's the father, when it's the stepfather, when it's the cousin, when it's the sister, when it's the mother, when it's the auntie, when it's all of them, they not gonna get no docuseries. And you have to realize that women, when you get into a situation where you've been damaged or where you've been hurt at a young age, go see a counselor. Go see somebody, because everything else that comes after your life from that one point will put you on a different trajectory. And you'll get on a trajectory where you're going to make a bunch of fucked up decisions and your life is going to go in a different direction. Whereas if you got some help at this traumatic point, it would have propelled you to go even higher because you've dealt with it and processed it. But when you have it and you keep going and you keep doing fucked up shit, you're going to keep going down and keep going down and keep going down and keep going down. 10 years later, you want to trace all that shit back to him. No. You need to trace that shit all the way back to your foster care. You need to trace that shit all the way back to being in a house with not having a father. That's where you need to trace that shit back to. Because those are the things that led you to make those bad decisions, to want to lie, sneak, jump out of windows, tell your mama you gonna be with him no matter what, and you love him and you gonna be with him. I'm gonna go to the video shoot. Ain't no way in hell I would let my daughter go to a goddamn video shoot. But I bet you a mama who ain't been raised by no man and don't know nothing about no man and ain't got no man, I bet you she let him go. Because it seems so exciting. Did you get to meet him? Right. Yeah, mama, I did more than meet him.
So, I was really pushing for it. I wanted it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I think that's something, that is one point that I did miss in my thinking of this, how naive we can be as young women. And now you've got an adult who's going to groom your understanding of love.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And whoa. From your professional point of view.
And here's the thing with that. She's right. But that's with anything. When you don't have any foundation, when you don't have no blueprint, then the person who gives you that experience tends to write it. Just like before in the other video, when I was talking about your sexual blueprint. That's why most little boys, when they get molested by men, they tend to be gay. Because that's their sexual blueprint that's been written. That's why when you have most women that have had violent or traumatic sexual experiences early on, they tend to crave that. Because that's how their blueprint is written. That's why that happens. So yes, that's with life, period. With anything, when you don't have tools and you allow somebody else, especially somebody else who isn't grounded, who isn't stable mentally either, write your sexual blueprint for that, it's definitely going to fuck you up. You're definitely going to continue to go in that spiral, that down spiral of bad decisions because of that. So that's extremely important to remember that. And the only way that you have that type of structure, the only way that you have that type of foundation is by having a balanced attack. You got to have two people, that husband and that wife, to build that foundation for you so that you can learn how to make the right decisions. You can learn how to interact with both sex. You can learn how to know what good energy and bad energy is coming from either sex. Most women, like she said earlier, they don't know that a dude who threaten your ass or call you out your name or treat you like shit is a bad thing because they haven't had the experience or got that energy from a male before. So they might think, is this how it's supposed to be? He's supposed to beat my ass then fuck the shit out of me? Is that okay? Well, if you have it happen long enough, what's abnormal will become normal if you do it long enough. You tell a lie long enough, it becomes your truth. It's not the truth, but it's yours. And that's fucked up. You want the truth, not a truth.
Do you feel as though that people who are abused abuse?
There are a large majority of people that have experiences of sexual abuse that do not go on to abuse others. Right.
I'd be one.
Right. But there are some that do. The idea of power and control getting twisted up with sex for children. And so a way that can happen is it's not
So let me say this too. And I think this is something that she failed to mention. I don't know why she didn't, but like I said, I ain't got no degree, but I'm just saying this. So yes, she's right to where you may not go on and be an abuser, but you still suffer from the abuse that you had. And when you haven't worked through that, then you will make bad decisions. So will she go and sleep with another 14-year-old girl that she already did? Or sleeping with a 14-year-old girl repeatedly? Probably not. But she'll pick a dude that'll beat her ass because she still don't know what love is. I'll guarantee you, she will be with a dude that controls her. Because R. Kelly did it, her baby daddy did it. I guarantee you she will be with a dude that tells her what to do. Because that's how her blueprint has been written. So those decisions that you make, even though you're not what has happened to you, because there is a smaller percentage that they won't turn out to be that way, but they will still make bad decisions based on that traumatic experience, based on that lack of not having the tools to deal with that experience that they had. And she's now setting an example for her daughter. So that's just me being in a relationship rehab. I don't know. The doctor would point that out.
Common for a child to be told that the child seduced the adult. It's not uncommon for the child to be told, well, you liked it because the child had an orgasm, which is an involuntary physical response, right?
Yes.
So,
especially with boys.
Right. And so then it becomes the child had an orgasm, which is an involuntary. As an adult, I want to be the other guy. I want to be the other person. Right. And so I'm not speaking for everyone's experience, but that's certainly one pathway.
Yeah. Because I have to be honest, and not to justify anything that's happened, but the fact that he had experienced sexual abuse from a family member really shed light on possibly how something like this could manifest and happen. And I do believe that as a community, these conversations are so important to have, just to make it okay to just talk, because I feel like so many people are suffering in silence and our suffering manifests.
We still have that thing in the black community where people don't want to seek professional help.
Oh yeah, because if you go to see a psychologist, then you're crazy.
Well, you all made a lot of really great points. And also, it's really important to acknowledge, we use the term adultification, right? What we do with girls is that when they start developing, we treat them as if they're adults. And when you add race on top of that, what we know is that we see adolescents and children as less innocent black adolescents. For boys, it starts at 10, but for black girls, it starts at 5.
Yeah.
What? Than their white counterparts.
5?
And when you're thinking about people saying, well, I thought, well, they're grown, so they know what they're doing. They're in the studio. She's standing there, seeming like she likes it. We, as a society, are acting like these girls are willing, right? And we have to own that. We have to recognize how we're complicit, right?
Yeah.
And it's that because just because we're black women at this table doesn't mean that doesn't seep into our psyches and the way we.
Here's the thing she failed to mention. There has to be an accountability for all parties that are involved. And that accountability starts with the parents. And I don't know why everybody that's watching this, everybody that's talking about this, they just want to fail to leave that little small caveat out of it. That's why people should be saying, this is why a mother needs to have a husband. This is why women need to get married and have husbands and then have children. This is why young girls need to stop being baby mamas, because now you're trying to put the responsibility on what the world does onto the rest of the people that it didn't happen to, and say, oh, it's y'all fault. We ain't looking at this. We saying she liked it. Well, hell, we don't know what type of life this kid has had. We don't know what she's grown up with. And the fact that women think it's okay, or men think that it's okay for that not to be addressed, that men and women need to have both because that's how you get properly covered, then yes. That's just like having a car with no seat belts and no airbags and saying, well, we got all these people crashing into each other and all these people are dying. Well, maybe we need to make the fucking car safe. Maybe we need to look at making sure that these kids are coming from safe environments. Making sure that they're living in safe environments. Before we send them out into the fucking jungle and then get mad at the animals that attack. It's just like we were just talking about Steve Irwin today. It's like Steve Irwin ain't got shit to complain about. It's like going after all of the goddamn stingrays because Steve Irwin got killed. He got his ass up. He went into the stingray habitat and he started swimming around with the fucking stingray. Maybe the stingray wasn't feeling good today and decided, I'm going to stab this motherfucker because I'm tired of motherfuckers swimming in my shit. I'm tired of motherfucking these humans coming around fucking with me every day like I'm a goddamn circus act. I'm tired of these motherfucking humans coming around me thinking that they can motherfucking just stroke me, swim around me, play with me, touch me. I'm tired. So I'm going to stab the next motherfucker that come around me on today because I ain't feeling it. And here you go, Steve Irwin. All right, mate, let me go down here and see what's going on. Cracky. Bam. Sleep. Float. I'm gone. That's what happens. So maybe somebody needs to start saying, well, wait a minute. How the fuck did this little girl even get to R. Kelly's studio? Well, wait a minute. How the fuck did this 17-year-old girl go to a fucking video shoot without no fucking adults? Well, wait. Why the fuck is this 17-year-old girl going to a video shoot with a dude who we've known that has slept with underage girls? Well, wait. Why the fuck would I think that this man would be able to give my daughter a career and he ain't gave nobody else's daughter a career, but yet he want to be alone with my daughter and I'm not going to be there? Well, wait. Why would somebody let their daughter be around somebody who has rumored to be a statutory rapist and have been around young girls? Well, wait. Where the fuck are the parents and the mothers and the fathers that are letting their kids initially go out and fly to be with this nigga? Well, wait. What did you think would happen when you put your daughter on a fucking plane to go be with a grown man? We don't want to talk about that though. We just want to say he's a monster and he shouldn't have done that and he needs to be under the jail. He should die in prison. That fuck nigga need to die. Don't ask me motherfucking why. That fuck nigga need to die. That's all we got. Then when it happens again, what we gonna do? The same shit? Then it happens again, what we gonna do? The same shit? It's just like when you look at the gun violence in Chicago. We talk about every fucking thing else that's going on in the city. The mayor ain't doing shit. We got all these people that ain't doing shit. Ain't nobody saying, what the fuck are these single mothers doing? Where the fuck are these fathers at? Nobody's saying that. Y'all need to put the guns down. Bitch, you been saying that shit for 20 years and it still ain't happened. But we will sit and just keep talking about the same shit and we won't say, well, wait a fucking minute. Why is this little motherfucker out here selling drugs? Wait a minute. Why are you having 5 kids by 4 different dudes and you ain't even raising them? Ain't nobody bringing that shit up. Did you notice the fact that in the urban cities where it's the most gun violence, the most drug dealing that is done by kids that are living in houses with single mothers that are on government assistance that ain't doing shit for themselves? Did you notice that? Well, wait a minute. What are these welfare queens fucking doing? Well, wait a minute. Let's cut these fucking welfare queens off. But it don't matter because we too busy talking about, well, the government is dropping guns off in our neighborhood. That's why we killing each other. No. I ain't seen a crate of Uzis in the ghetto yet. Just randomly dropped on the corner. Well, you know, it's the white man that's putting us against each other. Nope. I ain't seen no white man say, hey, y'all niggas should go shoot those niggas. That's what you should do. If you were real niggas, you go shoot those niggas, and those niggas would go shoot these niggas. I ain't seen that yet. But I have seen, I ain't snitching. Snitches get stitches. I have seen that. That's the same thing here. Look at the dynamic. What's the missing piece? What's the common denominator? You got a bunch of people trying to get money and a bunch of single motherfuckers trying to come up. Common denominator.
Exactly.
So we really have to keep talking about it.
I see how that happened
With Aaliyah.
Exactly.
You know, even I remember you would hear whispers of stuff, but you know, you go, oh, you know, she's making hit songs. She must be okay. Just explain to me what that is.
Yeah, like I'm trying to understand.
Like, why is that? Have you figured that out? The adults, like at 5?
Just seeing them as more responsible, less innocent, more responsible for themselves than their white counterparts.
So overall, black women are seen as more responsible and less innocent.
And you see that with judges not using their discretion when they're sentencing.
Right.
You see that with resource officers in schools disciplining black girls. And you just see it. You know, I think that...
You know why? Because when you have people like Barack Obama saying black women are the backbone of the society, of the community, who's in charge? Who's in charge? When you're talking about this dynamic here, and just to even see that, and to think the fact that that's okay, that you see this happening, but you don't look to say, well, what needs to change? What makes us different than everybody else? It's no men. Because those very things that you talk about, men would protect you from that. If men were in the household, if men were the head of the household, if women would submit to their men like every other fucking race does, then you would have men that would step up and be like, no, this shit ain't going on here, pimp. This ain't going on, player. This ain't happening, partner. You would get a lot more of that. As opposed to saying, well, he's selling drugs, but he give me cash. He done bought me a TV. He done bought me this, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Then when they kill him, I'm going to just say everybody's wrong. And I don't know why. That's why you have that dynamic. And the fact that they're not talking about that shit is a problem. It just is.
The answer isn't simple, but it is historic.
I feel it's systematic as well.
It's not systematic. It's based on our culture and what we do as our people. It's not a system that's making it that way. We choosing that shit. Yes, there are certain things that are wrong because of the system. Yes, the system is fucked up for us because of the position we put us in. We're trying to get our women to take care of our communities and our children like men. And it's not working. We're trying to put our women, and we're consistently allowing our women to be put in a system that they don't fit in. The fact that women want to be these strong black motherfuckers is what's fucking us up. Because ain't nobody else doing it. And we're the worst of the worst. We're the bottom of the barrel. We're the last ones. That's why we're the ones buying the most fucking weave. That's why we're the ones committing the most fucking violence per our capita, per motherfucking our percentage of people. That's why we can't live together amongst each other and be safe. Hell, it's safer to live in a trailer park with a bunch of white folks that ain't got shit than it is with a bunch of black folks that ain't got shit. Why is that? The dynamic that's different because they on welfare in the trailer park just like they are in the hood. The dynamic that's different though is fathers. The women value the men. The women understand the importance of having a father. Even if they don't, they want it. And they don't just want a man that's going to do what the fuck they want him to do. They want a man to come and lead. They want a man to come and be the head. They want men to come and be the head of the household, to be the king, whatever you want to call it. They do. And you look at every other race, and that's exactly how it is. Except for ours. And we still are hell-bent on not accepting the fact that maybe we got it wrong, people. Maybe we need to do shit a different way. And if I need to stop talking, you need to stop fucking watching. If you talking about me, because that don't make no goddamn sense. But it is what it is. We have to say we got to change something, and it needs to start with us. Not hoping that the system do it. Not hoping that the white people do it. Not hoping that the Asian people do it. Not hoping that all these other people do it. We need to do it ourselves. Plain and simple. Simple and plain.
Like completely systematic and historic, like that mixture of sexism and racism, like combining and becoming this monster that's just like...
That's becoming dehumanizing.
It's a dehumanizer.
And that's how you can go for years and see black girls getting abused and see black girls being victimized and not really do anything about it or say like, oh, that's terrible, right? It's because you've deemed them now as less than.
I never thought about it like that. I want to thank you. I want to thank both of you for coming.
And I thank y'all for listening.
And let me ask you, what is something that you want people to know about your mother?
She's not who they think she is. She's a helper. She's a mom. Yeah. She's a lot of stuff. And people just aggravating what they say, and they don't know anything. It's like, oh, she's a gold digger. Oh,
Right.
what money do we have?
Right.
Like,
It's very difficult to heal in the spotlight,
right.
and in front of people, and that's why every last one of you that had the courage.
So here, let me say this, and this is pretty much it. That's pretty much the end of it. Here's the problem with what she's saying. It's not necessarily what she's saying, it's what she's not saying. And we need to get to a point where we can say this. Yes, I'm a mother. Yes, I'm trying my best. Yes, I want to do great things with my child, for my child. I want to be a great woman and all that. But I've made some really bad decisions. And I don't want the people that watch this or the women that come after me or my own daughter to make the same mistakes I made. We don't want to say that as a people. We tend to shy away from that. We try to be and say we are everything good in this world, but we don't want to acknowledge and put at the forefront the fucked up shit that we did. Because that's how we got to where we are now. And I'm not knocking on Lisa in the least bit when she's trying to say that about her. She's trying to be a good mother. But she has a lot of shit she needs to fix and work out because she's made some terrible decisions. And it's fucked up not just her life, but it's also taken an effect and a toll on her daughter's life. That's the problem that I have with women that come forth and talk like this. They don't put at the forefront what they did that was really fucked up because they're so busy trying to save and protect their image because they still want and the accolades of just being a mom. It's so hard. It's terrible. It's hard trying to heal in the spotlight. You want to talk about that, but you need to just say, you know what? I was a young girl. I had a lot of shit going on before I met R. Kelly. And I had a lot of things that I should have gotten help for that I didn't. And because I didn't, it led me to put myself in a position to where I got preyed upon by a predator. Because just like you didn't work on the things you should have worked on, so did he. Because he was preyed upon. He didn't have a choice. He was preyed upon at a very young age. And he still moved on through life without getting help. And not realizing that because you didn't get help from being preyed upon, it turned you into a predator. And it turned you into a very powerful predator because of your gift, because of your talent. And all it did was just amplified it. At the end of the day, if R. Kelly never sang a note, or never sang a song, never played an instrument, or never walked into a studio, he would still have preyed upon some 13, 14, 15-year-old girl. It just wouldn't have been as many, and it just wouldn't be as big. That's the facts. The fact of who he is as a celebrity, the fact that what he's done musically has nothing to do with the predator that he was destined to be because he didn't get help and because he was preyed on as a kid. And the fact that people want to demonize, the fact that people don't want to accept the fact that maybe, just maybe, even though you're rich, you might need help too. Even though you're rich, you might be mentally disturbed too. Should still be held accountable. Fuck that. That 14-year-old girl, then you need to do time for that shit. Just like anybody else. You need to have to register as a sex offender. Just like anybody else. But at the end of the day, this ain't the fucking devil. And just like he should be held responsible for the shit that he's done, just like he should be held responsible in the roles that he's played, so should she. So should she. Because she slept with a 14-year-old girl too, as an adult. She slept with a married man as well, as an adult, for 10 years. And then, since she was dealing with the devil, she was bringing her baby around him too. You can't give her the excuse, oh, well, you was a mother and you was hurt. You can't give her that excuse. Because she's an adult. And just like how you want to charge Kales, you need to charge Lisa Van Allen. Same exact thing. Don't matter if you got money or if you don't. If you're broke or if you're rich. You're breaking the law, your ass needs to pay. But ain't nobody not once said anything about her being a statutory rapist. When that's exactly what she is as well. All I'm doing is talking about the whole truth. That's it. If we're going to do what's right, then let's do what's right. Not just for what's right now, and not just for who we think is right and who we think should be cared for, taken care of, excused, pardoned, or whatever. Do what's right because it's the right thing to do. Not because it's just what's right for you. Not because it's what's right for you and your ego. What makes you sleep better at night. Because that's exactly what she's doing. She's thinking because she's going out and speaking out against R. Kelly, she's going to prosecute and testify against R. Kelly. She thinks that she's doing her part. But you were complicit too. Just like the managers, just like the assistants, just like the helpers, just like the executives at the label, just like everybody that promoted him, everybody that paid him, everybody that contributed to his success, that knew what the fuck he was doing. The musicians, all of y'all. Y'all knew it. Every last one of you fuckers knew it. And you kept playing, you kept singing, you kept dancing, but you ain't no coon for doing that though, is you? Soft shoeing for R. Kelly is alright. But if you wear a MAGA hat, then you're wrong. You is a coon. Right. I'll be that. But at the end of the day, I ain't working for her, I ain't assisting, I ain't helping, and I don't know nobody that's out here statutory raping young girls. I ain't out here supporting nobody that I know is a pedophile. You ain't seeing me do it. You ain't gonna have me doing it. I'm not picking up no young girls from the airport and running holes for somebody. I'm not doing that. Because it ain't the right thing to do. It's that simple. I hope that this video helped somebody become a better version of themselves. I gotta go try to get me a little bit of sleep. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. thank you for giving me this time. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to everybody out there in Facebook land. Oh, and let me do this because I don't want to forget. Let me give thanks to these people who have so graciously donated their time, their energy, and their resources. Come on back. This thing takes so long to sign on. God dog. There we go. And hey, if you didn't have the opportunity, you still got the opportunity. Bam! Alright, here we go. So, let's scroll on down. I want to give a shout out to, I want to make sure I still give. I want to give a shout out to Troy Sherman. Thank you so much. Just showing support. When funds get better, the donations will get better. I appreciate you, brother. Every little bit counts. Thank you so much. Also want to give a shout out to truck number 433 times 7. Great shows, B. I watch the replays because it's hard to listen to the shows live riding across country with all the buffering. So I watch after I park. I really enjoy your content. Thanks to you and Tommy, I've learned a lot and become a better person. I love you two brothers. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Trucker 433. Hey man, thank you. And I appreciate the fact that you took time out to listen to us and to listen and support me, man. It is an honor and a pleasure. Please be safe out there, brother, and get your sleep that you're supposed to get. Alright? Because there's a lot of truckers out there. I know sometimes y'all be trying to get back home, trying to get that money at the same time, but all the while you're getting tired. Go ahead and pull over and go to sleep, man. We need you out here. Alright, there ain't no load that important and ain't no getting back home that necessary to where you ain't getting your sleep. So go ahead, make sure you get some sleep, sleep well. Hey, even if you got to turn me off to get to sleep, do it, man. Make sure you stay safe out there. But I thank you for your donation, man. I just got an affinity. I got several of my brothers that are truck drivers, and I always tell them to make sure that they sleeping. So shout out to my man Black. Shout out to my nephew Marty Ma. Shout out to my boy Lance. Y'all out there, and my little brother Law Dog. Y'all keep driving out there, man, and be safe and get your sleep. Thank you for your donation, Barbara Pleasance. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Drizzle Gaming, thank you for your donation. Love what you do, man. Between yourself, Tommy, and Just Jay, well-needed messages amongst the black community as a whole. Definitely need to donate more often. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. That's what's up. Let's see. Showing you a little love for what you do, Brian. You appreciate it. Unique Laura. Thank you so much, Unique Laura. I appreciate you too. Let's see here. Alright. Evil white Neanderthal support those who help us all. Love you, bro. That's from my man Corey Speak Off. Thank you, man. I appreciate your donation too, man. Everybody, I thank you so much, man. Oh, then he came right back. A couple more for that hat, for the hat. Walk away, our blacks, hashtag walk away, our blacks leaving the Democrat plantation because of leaders like you. Thank you, man. I'm definitely trying to get, I was on it, and I'm trying to get other people off of it, man. Just want to have the idea of doing something different, man. Thank you for your donation, my man Billy Goat Gruff here. No government name, please. I got you. Keep it going, brother. Wish it were more. I'm far from perfect, but it's good to hear positive talk from you and Tommy. No matter how many think the message is negative. Blessings to you and your family. Peace. Yes, indeed. And let's see. Last but not least, Kiana, thank you for your donation as well. Hey, man, I get the whole fact about it. People think this message is negative, and the reason why people think the message is negative, it's literally because it's the truth, and people are so resistant to changing. They're so resistant to changing what they believe to be true. And when you point things out, and that's why I love what Tommy does. I love the fact that he comes from a logical point of view, and he comes from facts. He talks about facts and logic, and he's just putting it together, and he's just trying to get us to see things a different way. He's trying to get us to look at things in a different light. He's trying to get us to take things from a different perspective, because what we're doing now ain't working. And it's led us to a lot of dysfunction, and it's led us to a lot of despair. Our people are suffering. And they're suffering to the point that a lot of them don't even know that they're suffering. And that's just a fact. So we have to be willing to change and do something different, because that's the only way that we're going to get better. That's the only way that we're going to do it. And yes, I know people watch me and people see my content and they say, oh, it's like Tommy. Oh, it's like this. It's like, everybody gets something to say, and that's fine. But what I'm saying and what I'm talking about is coming from the heart. And it's coming from me, and it's truthful. It's coming from a good place. So I'm fine with that. You can compare me to whoever. That's cool. And for those of you that want me to change and say, oh, well, you should clean up your language, you should do it. I get that part too. But sometimes it has to be given raw. It has to be given to where there is some profanity. It has to be given to the point to where some people might be offended. Because that's what brings certain people to change. That's what makes certain people listen. Because everybody that's on the upper end, that's all woke, if you will, I'm not necessarily trying to reach them. I'm not necessarily trying to get the message to them. I'm trying to get it to whoever wants to hear it. And most of the people that need it are on the level that we talk on. So they identify with a cuss word here and there. They identify with some slang here and there. So that's what it is. And that's why we got to do it the way we got to do it. Sometimes you got to get down on somebody's level, or at least peek down on their level. Shout at them a little bit to get them at least to raise their head, to look up at you, to look over to you, to look where you're at and see what's going on. Oh, well, who talking this shit over here? Let me go see. Because everybody can tune in to what they see on TV, what they hear on these songs. We can tune in to that, and that's just fine. But you hear what I'm saying, and because it's not what you agree with, I'm the bad guy. I'm the thumbs down. I got to take you down. I got to take everything you stand for down because it's not what I want to hear. We got to move past that. And it might not be for those of you that's my age. It might be for somebody that's younger. And so be it if it is. Some of us are too old to change. But there are a lot of young people out here that still got hope. And I'm hoping that we can reach them and we can start changing for our children that are coming after us. Thank you guys so much. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And as always, I hope that this helps somebody become a better version of themselves. Peace. And I'm out. Bye, live. La da 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 la. La. Oh, la la la. Y'all be easy, man. And everybody that's on Facebook, click that subscribe button and subscribe and click the like on the video. Peace, and I'm out. There we go. There we go. And